Please be advised that this video is for the sole purpose of entertainment. Any views are purely my own, are subjective and may not necessarily be true. I do, however, do extensive research for all of my videos. All photos have been found on the public domain. I am using them under the fair use and fair dealing guidelines. I urge everybody to do their own research. Well, hello, it's Murky Meg here. It's Tuesday the 25th of February and please excuse it if you hear some banging or sawing. I've got the builders in and I'm trying to make this video with the nonsense and the noise that's going on. Hey ho, I will try. So please excuse if you hear the odd banging or sawing. They're only fixing my roof. So, news dropped last night and it's a doozy. The Mirror ran a story yesterday that they confirmed that they had been talking with the Met Police Department and asking them exactly what entails with this security bill. They asked them directly whether or not this amount of a couple of £1 million was feasible and whether or not it was an accurate figure. And the results are startling, to be quite honest. Now, we all know that our police funding is under massive stress right now. There's not a lot of money going around when it comes to police funding. And so the Mirror quite rightly asked them whether or not this was feasible and whether it was accurate. And the Met Office did actually say that they are fearful of guarding the pair as they tour the world on their money-spinning trips and that they will leave them unable to cope. Now, an ex-protection officer has said that Meghan and Harry's new life as an independent couple will be a security nightmare that sends costs spiralling as they travel the globe, earning millions. And a row has actually broken out as to who should foot the bill. Now, the bill that the Met Office have actually claimed could go to £20 million. That equates to $25 million. How is this even possible, you ask? Well, it's quite simple because the logistics of the couple. They are not always in the same place at once. You also have to factor in that Archie also needs protecting. So let's say that Archie's with the nanny, Harry's wherever he is and Meghan's wherever she is, but they're in separate places. They need a minimum of about 4 protection officers each. Now, these protection officers earn around about £106,000 in excess a year, factoring overtime, expenditure, hotels, travel. It then gets tricky. Now, a former Met protection officer, Di Davies, said in their current state the plans are unworkable. She goes on to say that Harry and Meghan's situation has called for a complete ripping up of the rulebook and they are acting like none of the rules apply to them. There is already a severe lack of trained officers and this is only adding to the Met's woes. What's interesting about this particular article shared by the Mirror has said that since quitting the royal family and relocating to Canada, Harry and Meghan have also taken solo trips between Vancouver, the US and the UK, at times leaving all 3 of them in different locations. At what time were all 3 of them in different locations? That's Harry, Meghan and Archie. That doesn't make sense to me, that they are expecting the best of security even when they are solo all over the world. How is that feasible? What makes it even worse is that we have reports coming out that Meghan and Harry could rake in a staggering $1 billion after Brexit, and that's done by a top financial expert from the Sunday Times Rich List. My own personal opinion is I don't think they could get anywhere near that with what has happened over the past couple of months. I think that they are toxic right now, and unless they do things to change the situations and the public opinion, because have a look on their Instagram account and you really do have to root around for positive posts. They are nearly all negative and they are getting thousands and thousands of likes. The tide is changing for the public opinion of these two. What they've done to Her Majesty the Queen is downright despicable and people are noticing and people are pointing the finger squarely at them. Yes, they may get positive news because of what they're doing and because of who they are. But the majority of people in the UK are now tired of these antics and just want it done. If they have the ability to earn millions and millions, they can pay for their own security. And there lies the issue. Why should we pay for them when they have the opportunity to earn millions? And you know she's going to cash in as much as she can, yet they don't pay for their own way. Now, the Mirror claims that sources have told them how the calculations between the 3 million and 6 million a year to provide security for the couple were woefully inadequate. One added the average salary of a protection officer is in the excess of £106,000, and on current standing, Harry and Meghan need at least 12, if not more, split over several teams because of the locations of them being individually at. Could be separate. Travel, accommodation, bills and overtime payments are set to explode, with them having residences in several countries. Now, the Met Office have been asked to compile a report that needs to be delivered to the government, but both the government and the Met Office are said to be quite perturbed about the estimated escalation of up to £20 million. It was announced last week that Harry will continue to require effective security to protect him, Meghan and Archie. Even MPs are now starting to speak out. Labour MP Stephen Doherty said, "I support the freedom of Harry and Meghan to choose a more private life, but serious questions must now be asked about who is going to foot this ballooning security bill, particularly when they plan to travel for personal or commercial reasons. It cannot be right at the time when communities across the UK are calling out for more police to tackle serious crime and violence, and further pressure is being placed on them." Also, a Lib Dem Home Affairs spokesman, Christine Jardine, said, "Given that they've made the choice, it is reasonable for the Sussex to contribute to the cost of their security abroad rather than put the whole bill on the UK taxpayer." Former Labour MP Emma Dent-Code said, "Why must we pay this vast sum to protect these soon-to-be non-royals to jet set around the world as they plan at being philanthropists? They are both multimillionaires. They won't starve." How can they cost this much? I mean, the Obamas only cost $1.5 million. $25 million a year. As Busy Bee pointed out on Twitter, that at $24,000 a year, that could put another 833 policemen on our streets for 1 year. And I think not only has this rubbed us up so badly because of the stupendous amount of money that this is going to cost, but also that whole independent profile nonsense on their so-called manifesto website. To physically actually put that on there was laughable. Hashtag delusions of grandeur. Now, I'm not all bad, you know. I do know they have to have an element of security, but if they have the means to make money, which is exactly what they're doing, why on earth should we, the taxpayer, foot the whole bill? Now, they must surely know by now, one look at their Instagram will tell them that their public opinion is tanking about them. So surely it would be beneficial to them to actually say, do you know what? We know it's a bit extortionate. I understand that. Tell you what, why don't we do it on a sliding scale? You pay half, we pay half. And then let's see how it goes after the 12 months. That is kind of a compromise. Unfortunately, they don't seem to want to compromise at all. It's their way or no way. And that's become evidently clear with the whole mess of the website manifesto, with pointing the fingers at the royals, all those sly digs at the Cambridges, Beatrice, and even at the Queen. What they're doing right now is turning themselves into social global pariahs. I really hope our government put their foot down and say, no, we are not going to foot this £20 million bill per year for these two that don't want to be royals anymore. Come on, Boris Johnson, get your finger out and say enough is enough. But as always, what do you all think of this shocking figure that has been stated in all the major papers today? Do you think it's fair that the taxpayer should stomp up £20 million per year for these two individuals that don't actually want to take pride in our country anymore? Do you think it's an overinflated figure? And if so, what do you think we should, as taxpayers, be sensible enough to give them? As always, let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.